So I wanted to talk about splicing a little bit differently. If you talk to 5 different riggers or 5 different people who work a lot with ropes and splice and ask them the basic, how do I splice? You're probably going to get 8 different answers. So I wanted to talk about just basic concepts of how to splice and why we do it and how to do it in a, it's a really creative way to work with your equipment. And as long as you follow some of the simple basics, you can have a lot of fun with it. So if we're looking at a piece of rope, this is a piece of 12 strand Dyneema, and the rope is made up of all of these different individual strands, and you can pick them apart, and all of these together are what gives the rope its strength. Now it's not an even curve of, if you break one strand, the rope is still 11 of the 12 parts of its strength. The curve is a lot sharper than that. So when you're splicing, it's really important that you treat these strands with respect and try and keep them as well aligned as you can. Try not to snag strands. These strands are still filaments of rope, and you can pull them apart. And when you're working with your fids and you're passing your fids through the rope, it's really easy to catch some of these strands and hairs. And if you catch some of them, it's important that you try and back that fid out and not go through it. So with it, we want to try and keep things symmetrical, really aligned, really simply just, take your time and be patient and try and, very gently open up the rope and push the fid through. You don't want to use a bunch of force when you're working with fids or wires when it comes time to moving through the line. And then when you poke out, you don't want to kink the ropes or push through. This is a common mistake here, where we push through the middle of a strand. What you want to do is just loosely try and find the gap. These have dull noses for a reason. So it's kind of a nice way to move a fid through a piece of rope. So when you're working with your splicing tools, just be really cognizant of the strands and how you're moving them. Be careful of snags. Try and work, in the middle of the rope, and just, take your time, really take your time, and be smooth with what you're doing.